Hello everyone and welcome to our first episode in English actually. We are Parken Södra, or as we say in English now, PS Football. You can mention us in both ways. My name is Dzevada Tule and I'm with my dear colleague
Hazem Shamu.
Yes, and this will be very interesting actually because I'm a little bit excited, a little bit nervous because this is our first time in English and it will have its challenges and its demands, but I don't know, Hazem, how do you feel about this?
It's okay. It's fine by me. It's gonna be interesting in speaking about this PS football and what we are doing and to reach other people and that we have in Swedish because we actually do this in Swedish and right now it's gonna be in English, which I am looking forward for that and speak about the what we are going to talk about and get to know our audience that understand English and are interested in us. So
yeah, and we will during the future have, the majority of the episodes will for sure be in Swedish, but every now and then we're going to talk about some important or interesting football topics in English as well, which will be today. And before we actually talk about today's topic, let us first introduce ourselves. And my name is Dzevada Tule. I'm a football player and I have played on semi-professional level. Now I'm playing in the Swedish lower leagues and I'm one of the founders of Parken Södra. We have been continuing and doing our work since 2019. I think it's almost 6 years now. So
yes, yeah.
It's been a nice journey. And with me we have Hazem.
Yeah, and I did join Parken Södra later, 2 years later, 2021. Even 21 between the end of the 20 and the start of the 21 I did join the PS football and it was something incredible and as my background I have been also playing football for many years, but I did end my career 2018 I will say knee injury, but it wasn't because of that. It because of the studies. I did go to school and I had a lot of other things to do, and I also do a referee. So which did take my time. I had to choose between play football or to do a referee, and I chose to do referee because I didn't need the money while I did study. And I've also been coach for many years, so 10 years plus.
Which is a very long time actually,
Yeah.
but the interesting thing is that what made you change your career from actually playing as a football player and then refereeing?
I did, I was playing in Division 5 in the Swedish league, which is not high in, if we look at the other divisions. I did lost the hope. I didn't get so many minutes to play the last year of my player career, which made me to rethink and see what is it fun to play. I did play football because I did like it. I did try my best to do everything possible in the game and try to win. And in training, I was like a winner. When I didn't have that kind of players in my team, it didn't match what I wanted to do in my career as a footballer, and I did. End of the day, I did choose to do referee because it was going a lot of better, and it was needed also. We were few people that did the referee, and it was a time that we needed a lot of referee, and I chose to do a referee because I wasn't in Östergötland, as we are in right now. I was studying in a different country, in the same country, but in different area of Sweden. I was in Östersund. That made me also to choose referee.
And for the people in the different areas of the world who will see this episode, so Östergötland is basically one of the counties in Sweden. It's a little more to the southern or southeast, while Jämtland or Östersund, where it is, Jämtland is the county of the city Östersund, which is more up to the north.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I was 8-9 hours from home.
Yeah, I think that would be for me if I would live in Östersund or anything or a city like that. I would see it as demanding for sure. I mean, not just mentally, but also structure of your life and everything like that. Did you adapt fast, or how did you feel when you first moved to Östersund?
I did actually adapt fast because it was a small town and everything was nearby. So, and I do love to speak with other people and like to get to know them and share things like stuff what we have been doing in life. And so it was easy. It wasn't like hard to adapt. It was a lot of easy. But the thing is, it's more winter. It's more snow in Östersund, in what is in Östergötland or in Norrköping where we are living right now. So, but as for today, there are a lot of snow outside.
Yeah. I mean, right now when we're recording, it's I think for sure it's about minus when it comes to
-2, 3.
And in Sweden, we don't count by Fahrenheit, we count by Celsius, but exactly. That's another debate as well. But anyway, enough talk about our backgrounds. First and foremost, we want to thank everyone on Patreon who contributes to our work, basically day in and day out. First of all, we have the level called the Legends, and they are the people who contribute the most. So thank you a lot to Senid Halilovic, to Dzenis Halilovic. Thank you so much. The brothers in arms, as I sometimes call them. Alen Turcinhodzic, also thank you very much. And Amila Halilovic as well, thank you so much. Andres Velez Vasquez, and for sure Paulina Georgiadou. Thank you so much for your contribution, and a round of applause, of course. Thank you so much, and I hope that people find this interesting to see us challenge ourselves. So when we talk in English, but we'll wait and see. I think already that this is a little bit fun because you need to think one more time about the words you choose and everything like that. But anyway, it's fine. Anyway, we also have our so-called star players, and the star players are on the level below, but still very important to us. So thank you so much to Astrit Mehmeti, who was our guest in the last episode when we talked in Swedish. Also, thank you very much to Feriz Murseli from Helsingborg in the southern part of Sweden. Also, thank you very much, Sijaric, to Eddie Stenqvist Lindström, Nina Andersen, Teddy Jallowwie, and Daniel Grimsell Zea. Thank you so much. A little applause as well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, thank you so
much. They deserve it.
Deserved very, very much.
They support us in our work and they contribute. So the small thing we can do is give them a round of applause.
Yeah, really. And to be fair, a lot of these patrons and a lot of our supporters are from our native town, Norrköping, but we want really to develop and expand. So hopefully maybe we get a patron very soon from maybe another country. Who knows?
Who knows? Maybe.
But let us see. Let us grind.
Exactly.
Anyway, and also not just to show our gratitude to our patrons, but also to the company Palestine Drinks as well. This is a very special company since they're supporting the families and the children in the Palestine. We know every aspect and every detail. Unfortunately, about everything what's happening in Palestine. We support you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution, Palestine Drinks. And they have their headquarters in Malmö, but they have developed really, really much. You can see them in a lot of countries, not only in Sweden.
In a lot of stores. And
a lot of stores as well, yeah.
So go and support them because they also support, as Mirza said, people who are in need and help. So yeah.
Yeah, so basically I'm just going to open this can up and try to, not just try, enjoy a little bit. I actually really like this soda since it reminds of basically the regular Coke, but it's sugar-free obviously, but I like it very much. I've changed to Palestine Drinks since a couple of months ago, and I can tell you I don't regret it at all. So thank you so much, Palestine Drinks. And don't forget to follow Palestine Drinks on social media, especially TikTok and Instagram. And also, before we continue our episode, don't forget to smash the subscribe button.
And follow us on the other, like TikTok, Instagram, and everywhere.
Yeah,
basically.
And so don't forget to, as Hadam said, follow us on social media, on TikTok, Instagram. Our name is Parken Södra. You will see it in the description below. But also smash the subscribe button, and please give us a like to this video because it will mean very much to your contribution and to our development.
Exactly.
Basically. But now to the actual topic. We have talked a lot, Hasan, a lot about ourselves, a lot about basically a lot about thanking other people, but now it's about the football or soccer as you call it in the US. But anyway, we call it football and that's it.
We're gonna keep it basic, football.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it basic. And today, as you see, we have our Barcelona shirts, and we have a tradition when we talk in Swedish that we first and foremost talk about our shirts, because every episode we have a shirt on us which has some kind of a meaning to us in different ways. And today, obviously, since we're going to talk a lot about Barcelona and their crisis at the moment, I have actually a Barcelona shirt on me, and I will explain why I have this, because I actually bought it in 2011. I was on a trip with my school. We had a project, and then this was basically the time when Barcelona was the best team in the world, for sure. It was the Pep Guardiola era, and you know, the tiki-taka football and stuff like that. And Messi scored almost 100 goals in the 2011 or 12 season.
91, 92 goals he scored.
Yeah, that was crazy stats. I mean, then you didn't really know which history actually Messi made, so or what he did. So you really understand now how great Messi was and is, and also Cristiano Ronaldo and all these players. But anyway, I bought this shirt. It wasn't the official store, but I just liked it, and it was quite cheap, I should say. I don't think I paid more than 50 euros, so it was actually a good replica. But I have my shirt name on the back, and I know that Hazem is laughing a little bit because I'm an Arsenal supporter.
Exactly.
so he's like feeling this and taking all these emotions with great gratitude, because he's finally seeing me in a Barcelona shirt. He has waited for so long to maybe...
He finally made the right choice. He find the club that he truly loves.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but okay. But anyway, but for this reason and for this episode, I'm going to have the Barcelona shirt. By saying that, I don't have any hate at all against Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, or the rivals. I really like Barcelona and Real Madrid as equal. But for today, this shirt is on me. But I think that we have a more genuine and better supporter on the other side. Hazem, tell us about your shirt.
Unlike you, who is supporting Arsenal. So yeah, no, I have been a Barcelona supporter since 2008. Back in 2005, maybe the first time I heard Barcelona play in a radio TV, because I was in Iraq. I was young, so we didn't have TV to watch Barcelona games, but. Since Ronaldinho time, we had the radio, and they was playing a game. But I don't remember exactly which game it was, but it was Barcelona who played against one team. But when I moved to Sweden, we had the TV. The first thing that I watched football was Barcelona, and since then it has been always Barcelona. I have been in Barcelona, visited Barcelona. I have seen Messi play in Camp Nou. Which is right now Spotify Camp Nou, and they are working on the new Camp Nou. So yeah, we're gonna be fantastic to see what we are headed.
Yeah, and I mean, the topic today is very interesting, not just for you but also for me, since we have a lot of things to discuss about, and for sure the main topic today will obviously be the whole Dani Olmo-situation. As many people know who follows football, they know the situation about the registration. Basically, La Liga hasn't accepted the proposal from Barca to extend his contract, or basically extend his right to play for the remainder of the season. But Hazem will for sure explain this. But anyway, if we, I don't think I need to necessarily just explain everything, since many of the people who watch this clip know what the Dani Olmo situation is about. But to just conclude it in very, very few words, Dani Olmo is basically allowed to sign a contract with a club,
whatever
club he wants.
He can basically, for the moment, for right now, as we are speaking, I'm just gonna make sure that
of course
people know they are on the way in flight to Saudi Arabia, because they're gonna play Copa del Rey in Saudi Arabia. Dani Olmo is with the team, but he can't play. They are hoping to make each and every paper that is needed to be done and be accepted. But basically, he's not Barcelona player. That is what Mirza wants to say. He can choose, if he wants to leave Barcelona, he can do it. He can do it for free, which means Barcelona doesn't get anything. And they have paid a lot of money for him during summer to buy. And so we are in that, and it isn't just Dani Olmo-situation. Barcelona have been in this situation for many years, but the last year has been the scene eye-opening for people around and for the member to see that something is happening in Barcelona which isn't good, because we can't buy players as we want. It has been hard to sell players that we don't want to keep in Barcelona, and it has been hard to register players that we buy. So obviously it's a lot of problems that we have to solve.
I mean, the situation is quite complicated since basically Barcelona want to make this decision to get overruled. Hasan, can you explain a little bit in details about what's going on with this Dani Olmo case and this stuff?
Yeah, basically, if you want to see what have been happening in Barcelona, we have to go back in time and see what happened at the end of Pep Guardiola era, and from there to speak, because when Joan Laporta left, we had a good team. We still had a lot of players. We had Messi. We had everything was in good shape, even the economic. But basically, what happened was a bad transfer. We bought players for a lot of money, but we didn't get anything back. The expectation was we had a lot of expectation, but they didn't do what they were being paid for as a player. Basically, can say we bought Philippe Coutinho for 160 millions euro from Liverpool. Didn't do anything. He was sold for half of the price, even less than half of that price. We had Dembele, Ousmane Dembele, which we bought for 140 million euros from Dortmund. Didn't do anything either. He was injured. He did play. Okay, he scored some goals, but he didn't meet up the expectation that we had and that we expected to see. We bought also Antonio Griezmann for 120 million euro. Didn't do anything. Leave us for less than that money that we bought them for. But the problem wasn't that. The problem was the wages. They did get a lot of money for playing for Barcelona. I can break down in details how much they did earn weekly or monthly, which made Barcelona to bleed in not for the moment, but for many years in further. Which when Bartomeu, which was in the president of Barcelona, he didn't think of that. He was only in the moment. He wanted a player. He wanted to make Barcelona great again, to win Champions League, to compete, and he just only bought players without thinking of the future. What's gonna happen in future when you buy players for a lot of money? And during this time, we also sold Neymar for 200 millions euro, which was one of the top selling during that time in the market. And that money that we get from Neymar, we didn't do anything well with that. We only spend it and bought players. It gave players a lot of wages, which, if you ask me, they didn't deserve because they didn't meet up the expectation. So that made Barcelona to bleed. And that we are seeing right now is the consequence of just buying players and give them a lot of wages.
So basically what you're telling is basically the history of bad economic displays from Barcelona has led to this Dani Olmo situation, where basically it has been
one of the reasons.
One of the reasons, yes, of many. But the thing is that the whole Dani Olmo situation, which is bizarre in itself, because basically for the whole autumn, Barcelona has always been confident in securing this situation. Like, okay, Dani Olmo is going to play with us the rest of the season. We will fix it, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And now we're sitting here and talking about the fact that he can maybe sign for whichever club he wants in Europe. And of course, the fact that Dani Olmo has played really good, not just during this first half of the season, but also during the Euros for sure. I think that it will be a complicated situation for Barcelona. But the thing is that Dani Olmo himself has, he's declared on social media, not at least, that he wants to stay. So he has publicly already given his opinion on where he wants to commit his future. But
Yeah.
if we, you have explained the details, Hazem, and stuff like that. But what do you think all of this circus? How do you think it will affect first and foremost the rest of Barcelona season? But not also that. How do you think that this will affect the club in the future?
Of course, it's gonna the players will see what's gonna happen. There are a lot of players that we need to sign to give them new contract, which will be hard to do if we continue with these terms that we have right now. For the moment, we can't register any player how we want it because of the wage. So it depends on what we are going to do right now. So yeah, the poor financial management that was from Josep Bartomeu during his time as a president to Joan Laporta. Joan Laporta has done fantastic work. For the moment, he's trying everything he can to solve the problem and to basically solve everything that we have so we don't have it in the future. He tried to make players' wages less by cutting and giving them in the future. But so as we see it in that aspect, we are still currently bleeding money. We are still losing. And the reason why Barcelona, a big club like Barcelona, is losing money, it's come from the pandemic. During the COVID-19, we lost a lot of we lost a lot of members not like they died, but in that moment that we didn't have people that visit Barcelona. There were no tourists.
The quantity itself, the quantity of the members, they weren't as active as before.
Yeah. We had a pandemic that made Barcelona stadium. There was less people in the stadium. They did play games without people, fans. There were no supporters, which made Barcelona to lose a lot of money. It wasn't just 1 million, 2 million. It was 100 millions. And for Barcelona, that money is very important to have if they want to compete and pay their wages. And during that time, we had Messi. Messi was on the biggest wage during that time. We also had Pique, Sergio Busquets, Jordi Alba, player which was great for Barcelona, did everything they could for Barcelona, did win Champions League with Barcelona, everything they could possibly win. But those players had a lot of wages. So if I wanted to make a shortcut on the reason, is the wages of Barcelona. And the wages of Barcelona's players didn't meet up to the rules that they have in Spanish football. So to lose a lot of money during pandemic made Barcelona to suffer, which they are also suffering from right now. And that suffering is going back to Josep Bartomeu, who did just only buy players, didn't think of what he's doing, what is going to happen in the future. And the pandemic also made Barcelona to think. They had also planned to renew the Spotify Camp Nou which we have right now in renewal. They are still in progress working on the new arena to make a lot of more place for supporters to visit and to be able to see the game, but also to make arena to do other stuff like concerts and if they want to play basketball or anything else is going to be we're going to provide that. So basically, if you see it right now, when it's done, the new arena, Camp Nou, you will see people and you will see Barcelona's economic grow, because in the future it's going to be a good investment. But for the moment where Barcelona is right now, it was a bad investment. The timing was not actually good because they needed money for the new Spotify Camp Nou, and they did take a loan, which they gonna have to pay in 10-20 years in forward. So That's also a reason that Barcelona is still not good in economic, and they are still paying their loans, which isn't just only one. It's a lot of loans. There's a small amount and there's a big amount of money that which they have like taken from the banks and around. So the debt is still ongoing, and we also have players. I told you, Messi, Busquets, Pique. Each of those players that during this time when Barcelona there was time they were bleeding a lot. Those players like accepted to go down in their wage, but Barcelona made the contract that they will pay their wages in future, which they are paying right now for the moment. And those things makes Barcelona to lose to what they say in Spanish, the rules of Spanish, which is La Liga Financial Fair Play. And or also, if you want to say it, the rule 1.1.
Yeah, which is quite interesting, because that also maybe, I mean, for sure, if you sign a contract, you obviously you have a contract for a reason. You get the wages that you have made a deal of, or made a deal for.
Yeah.
But when it comes to loyalty terms, I mean, these are guys who desperately love Barcelona. They want Barcelona to succeed in many ways, even if they're not playing there. Do you think that Messi, Alba, Pique, and so on, etc., can they somehow like just decide to, okay, you don't have to give us the money, we accept the situation, we want to save the club, or is it too simple to just solve it like that?
It's too simple. I think if they wanted to do that, they could accept it already. I think they have been actually accepted a lot of money to not to keep it, or they didn't ask for money in the future. They maybe ask for some amount of the money, but not the whole amount of the money. Because as I see it in this situation, they love Barcelona. They want for Barcelona to do great, and but it basically is not only the wages that we have for those veterans, for those players that have been in Barcelona, that try to help Barcelona, that even they left. Messi left. It wasn't because of he wanted. He did left the Barcelona because of the 1 billion in the debt that Barcelona have. That was the reason he left. Because Barcelona couldn't keep him. They couldn't pay his wages, and they couldn't meet the expectation of the rules that they have in Spanish football.
But also the fact that a problem can also be a solution as well, because these economic crises that Barcelona is going through right now can also be seen as like an opportunity for the young players. And I mean, just look at Lamine Yamal, you look at players like Kubarsi, you look like a player like just you can give me like 3-4 more examples of great players, Pedri, Gavi, and so on. I mean, these are also products of the fact that the Barcelona crisis has made them. I mean, Barca as a club has been forced to like give more chances to the La Masia players, which basically is why Barcelona is looking so interesting right now. The youngsters, basically, they are the ones who carry the club. So my question is, can this also be an opportunity itself? That, okay, now we don't have the money to buy the superstars. Maybe we have to begin from scratch, begin from a number like, okay, we go from A. We basically now we will try to develop our next generation. We will try to keep Lamine Yamal at any cost, etc., etc. Do you understand what do you think about that?
It depends on how you want to see it, because if you want to compete with the Real Madrid, which is our rival and our big rival that we see as a threat, if you want to compete with Real Madrid, you need to buy sometimes a player which is already grown and our star. It's like I think personally that Barcelona have youngster in their team is going to be great for the future. We are building something for the future. But if you want to win Champions League and to meet those expectations and gain like our star again, be a big club in Europe, it's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be hard because the youngster needs time to adapt to the game and adapt to the players that have been already playing in Europe for many years. And you come first season and you do everything you can as a youngster. It's good, but it's not gonna be like the to resolve the problem in that way. But it isn't gonna affect either the actual problem we have. It's gonna gain us a bit more of problems because the wages can also grow up during those time, and as many minutes they play and a bigger star they became is gonna also gonna cost us more.
Yeah, and not just only that. I mean, the physical challenges, we're seeing it already in Barcelona. Like, for sure, Barcelona don't want to make the same mistake with Lamine Yamal as they did with Ansu Fati when it comes to the physical aspect, because we all know when Ansu Fati broke through, it was basically they were talking about the new Messi, the new generational superstar, and now we know how it is with Ansu Fati, who's still struggling with his physical issues and stuff like that, knee injury and stuff like that. So basically, that can be, as you said, that can be a threat as well, that they are maybe pushing these youngsters too much. They're playing too much games. I remember in 2021, I mean, Pedri, oh my gosh, he played like over 80 games. Yeah. And that was, I think you remember that picture from the Olympics. That he looked so tired, and he basically looked like, oh my God, did he take drugs or something like that? It was really, really, it wasn't, painful is a very, very strong word. I wouldn't say painful, but it looked like he didn't seem to have fun. And he was like only 19 or 18 years old at that picture. And you looked at it and you said, wow, is this the football industry? Like, basically, this is a guy who carries this club. Yeah. And we also have the knee injury with Gavi, basically as a consequence of that many games that he played, not just for Barcelona, but also for the Spanish national team. So, I mean, the discussions were interesting. But, Hazem, before we finish this episode, can you just give me a conclusion of what do you think for the rest of the season? How do you think that all of this outside the pitch, how much do you think it will affect Hansi Flick and also his team's chances of actually maybe winning the La Liga or even the Champions League or wherever? How do you think this will affect the rest of the season?
I think it's gonna affect because he needs his players, and Dani Olmo has been a great player. When he did come to Barcelona in August, many people was questioning why did we buy him? We don't need him. But he has made a name for himself in Barcelona. He has been providing. He has been doing scoring goals and doing everything he can in his position. And as I told you, we have a lot of youngster, but we can't rely on the youngster because they need time. We can't play 80 games during one season because of the national teams and the current team, and ask a lot from them because they are still growing. They are still 17, 16 years old. They're physical. They need to train harder to become one of the greatest players. Maybe not nearby Messi or Ronaldo because they are in different era, but as during this time, as they want to develop and do contribute for the team, they need the physique. We have seen football grow in physique. It's more physique than it's in back in the days when Barcelona played tiki-taka. There's no more tiki-taka for the moment. It's more physical, it's more aggressive, it's more depending on the mistakes. And those youngsters needs time to develop. And to have players like Dani Olmo or other players that already been in those situations and had the time to grow and become a player, which play regular in their team and do a great... I think they deserve to come to Barcelona if they are too good and meet the expectation that Barcelona have. So, as I see it, if you don't regress their players, if you have a hard time on doing that, just not only right now during January, we can have it in the summer also. What's going to happen to those players? They're going to leave. We lose our players. The youngsters, they're going to lose the hope. Even if they play, the wage is going to be less. And if they play, there are rules in Spanish that say they have to be paid or to renew their contract because of the basically how they play, and you also don't want to lose players for 20 millions if they do a great. You want to renew their contract to, if they want to sell, they gain 100 million euros instead. So yeah, so it's gonna affect a lot. And also the thing that we haven't spoken about is why Barcelona have problems to register those players. It's just not only the fair play, as I see it. I see it also that Tebas, who is the president of La Liga, he's making everything in his power to make sure that Barcelona have problems to solve this case. Because what I have been reading and what I have been seeing and in social media, Barcelona basically can register Dani Olmo and Paul Victor because they have been sold their VIP section, which is gonna be built during the new Spotify Camp Nou for 100 million euros to Qatar. But as Spanish Federation and Spanish the rules, basically they don't see it, or La Liga, the people that manage and make sure that every club has their paper right. They don't see that is solved a problem because Barcelona have been sold their VIP seats. They don't see it, and those 100 million, they don't see it coming in to Barcelona for the moment. So they make sure everything is less easy to than there is.
But everything you talk about now about Tebas and his approach to Barcelona, it sounds a little bit like it could be seen as a conspiracy from you Barca fans, to be fair. But why do you still think that this just isn't a conspiracy but also a fact? But and also we also have to talk about. We talk a lot about Dani Olmo, but we haven't even mentioned Pau Victor, Andreas Christensen, right?
Yeah.
We have Araujo. So there are many players.
Araujo is he's registered.
Okay, Araujo is fine, but I know that there are many
that
players who are in the risk zone when it comes to this discussion. But if we just go back to the Tebas discussion, why do you think that he has so much against Barcelona? Because obviously Barcelona as a club still is important to La Liga. I mean, it's about business as well. Why should he want to reduce Barcelona as a club, since Barcelona is important for the league?
For those who don't know, Tebas has been not hiding that he's a Real Madrid supporter and the fans, and he also have been mentioned in the social media that he wants to Barcelona to follow the rules and also be solve this problem, not just for a moment, to solve it for the future also. But in my opinion, as a Barca supporter, he's making everything he can in his power to make sure that Barcelona have problem to solve the players and the register players, so they don't compete with Real Madrid, which basically for the moment has the dream team. As you see it, they have Mbappe, they have Bellingham, they have Vinicius. Every player that they need, they have it. And what we do different than Real Madrid does is we pay a lot more in wage than Madrid does to their player. So Madrid have easier to register their player because they follow the rules, which basically Barcelona have not done it, as we see it right now. And they also has just been right for the moment as we are speaking. I've been seeing in the social media that many people want Joan Laporta to leave as their president because he didn't meet the expectation. A lot of fans and members in the social group that vote for the president, they wanted to see Dani Olmo registered before even we are during this right now. We are in time where it's like they have one more chance in to register Dani Olmo, and it's the highest court in Spanish. If they say no to those papers that we present and everything that we present to them, then basically we have lost a great player, which in the fans' eyes is not good. It's not enough, even if you have been doing great for Barcelona, as Joan Laporta have done during his time as president, which he took over 2020, 21, 19 during the time. So it's not good enough. We need a more president which follow the new tactic, the new financial space and strategy and everything like that. And yeah, basically we need to, for upcoming future, live on our youth team and players.
Yeah, it will be very interesting. And I mean, let us see. I think that the Barcelona situation is really interesting to watch as a neutral, since it's interesting to see the decline, but not the decline in a way that the level. I mean, the level of the play has for sure been very high. I mean, this season Barcelona has already shown that on a good day you can beat everyone, but you can also lose against everyone, which is which has been the main issue why Barcelona is not leading the La Liga currently as we are recording. But I mean, this discussion could go on, and we will for sure speak about Barcelona in upcoming episodes for sure. But for now, since it's our first episode in English, we will leave it for now. And I want to say thank you, Hazem, for the analysis. It has been really interesting since me as an Arsenal fan, I really don't have the knowledge about the details about the discussion, because when you look at things, you only read the newspapers and then you make the opinions based on what you read, and then you don't get the picture. But it's interesting to actually get a picture from you as a Barcelona supporter. But it would be very interesting to see the Real Madrid perspective, because it's really, it's a really sensitive question to ask, since you mentioned Tebas and all the stuff about his like basically his love or
if you don't, like, if Barcelona don't just point a finger, it's not Tebas' fault either. It's only Barcelona, because they have made a bad investment since 2010 and for the 2024. They have only made a bad investment, and that investment, we see the result out of that and the consequences of the bad investment we are seeing right now in current moment. So this is basically the Dani Olmo thing is basically just a consequence of bad economic strategies for many years. So I mean, even if maybe you can complain about Tebas, but it's just like 5% of the main issue. I mean, the bigger issues comes from already the Bartomeu era and etc. And but also Laporta as well. So it will be very interesting to speak about this in the future. But unfortunately, it's gonna be approved.
Maybe maybe they will overrule it all, and maybe Dani Olmo will play.
I think the highest court in Spanish will accept the paperwork and everything.
Yeah, let us see.
I see a light in the darkness.
Who knows? Maybe it's a light in the tunnel, or as you say in English, I don't know. But anyway, thank you so much, Hazem, for your contribution of the analysis of the Barcelona situation. We'll talk about Barcelona a lot for sure in the future, but for now we don't have the time necessary. But anyway, thank you so much, Hazem. I would also like to thank Palestine Drinks once more. Don't forget to follow them on social media. So big shout out to Palestine Drinks. Don't also forget once more to subscribe to our channel if you haven't done yet. Smash the button and also smash the like button. Let's help us to develop on YouTube, but also on TikTok and Instagram and Spotify as well. Our name is Park and Sudra. You can follow us in the description. Mostly we have our episodes in Swedish, but now we will also try to progress and also have some regular episodes in English as well. Exactly. So this will be challenging for us as well, but I think we did it pretty much okay, Hazem. Or you talked. I mean, you talked the most, so obviously I have to.
It depends on what our viewers gonna say, and our supporters that are gonna be listening this episode. And you can leave a comment and say whatever you want, and if you think we did a great work or it was bad, sorry for my English breaks.
I mean, you just have to live with it. I mean, it's just not our native language, but anyway, it'll be great fun as always to to see this in the future. But anyway, don't also forget to, if you want to support our work, please join our Patreon. You can also see the Patreon link in the description below. And by that, I just want to say thank you very much, Hazem, once more. And I don't know, as I always, when we have our Swedish episodes, I'm always asking you the same question in the end. And the question is, have I forgot something?
No, only subscribes.
Yeah, only subscribers. Yeah. So I hope you have a great day, have a great week, and enjoy the start of the
Take care of you.
2025. Take care, and thank you very much. Bye bye.
Bye bye.